I've had all kinds of audio issues, so you got to keep me posted if things are broken. Ooh, no more wrench. It's a mod shield now. Satori by Glacier is back. I'm back. I'll tell you more in a minute. I missed some shenanigans while I was away. I was away, by the way. That's okay. You don't need to hear me yet. Woo, I forgot about this groove. Traffic! We'll fix it later. Oh man, that is so good. All right, we're gonna get some Monster Cat going in the background. Let me see. And we even got, look at, we got this working. We got this thing working down here. You know what track is playing. What's up? Okay, welcome back, everybody. It has been a minute, and by a minute, I mean almost 3 weeks. Traffic killed the vibe at the end, sorry. Man, has it's been a couple weeks. Snorlax beanie, yes. I don't like to, and Gamers Nexus t-shirt, I mean, not as cool maybe as the Snorlax, but you know. So, my God, yeah, what a couple weeks it's been. I don't like to talk about, you know, like when I'm going to be away from the house and stuff like that, just in case. So, man, okay, let me tell you about the last 2 weeks. I had my cousin's kid, but I think she's closer. I'm about the same distance from her dad as Danielle is to the daughter that got married. We have a 7-year difference. So like they're on either side. Anyways, my cousin got married on Valentine's Day. So we did that. Came home Sunday. Well, came home late Saturday night. Sunday was a packing day because I had to go to Vegas for work for a week. And that was insane schedule. That was like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And then 8 a.m. to noon plus traveling home, technically arriving in Boston after 11 at night. Stayed at a hotel and slept for 3 hours and left for Disney World the next morning. And that turned out to be the more exhausting week than the Vegas week I just came from. Because we went to Disney, I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. We get an hour and a half delay on boarding because the toilets aren't reporting empty even though they're empty. So they deplane us. We wait an hour, reboard another plane. They lock the door and then they tell us it's going to be an hour for the de-icing crew. Why'd you put us on the plane? We could have waited out there. So we're talking like, I don't know. Well, it was an hour and a half plus an hour. So like we're really behind on the day. You know, we hoped we were going to get there, have some downtime because we're, unbeknownst to my daughter, one of her best friends was traveling with her family down at the same time as us, but they were only doing a day in Disney or two, doing a cruise and then coming back for the next weekend. So keep in mind, okay, I am on Vegas time. I haven't slept. I've been working 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Horrible day, literally traveling all day to get back to Boston to get a couple hours of sleep, to get delayed 4.5 hours, to fly down to Florida for my daughter to go meet her friend and get super excited that they stayed up. They're 9. They stayed up till midnight. They closed the park. They closed Hollywood Studios. I was so exhausted. So exhausted. That and me in Florida do not mix. I convinced my wife to go in February during vacation, knowing it would be more expensive, but that I would be less miserable. But it turns out 75 and humid is my literal melting point. I cannot handle it. We came back Sunday, and I remember hitting the parking garage in Boston and it being like 26 degrees, and I was wearing a t-shirt. 26 degrees, and I just had the biggest smile on my face, like I just had the best night's sleep. Like I felt alive again for the first. I was just running on fumes, and 26 degree weather brought such a smile to my face. Florida is miserable any time of year, it turns out. I can't handle the heat. I cannot do it. I don't know. Maybe I dress inappropriately. I was wearing shorts every day, but I wear a lot of black, so maybe I am attracting the sun with it. I always thought Jersey was the armpit. I don't want to say what I think Florida is. I'll just say that Alabama. Alabama is the taint. That's all I'll say about that. So it was exhausting. It was very tiring these last couple weeks. My wife and daughter ran in a 5K on Friday. They got up at 3:30 in the morning to go do a 5K because they like do it before the parks open. They got to run through Epcot, through the countries and stuff, so that's pretty cool. They got medals for it. That's what I'm saying, Patton. Will you create a new city once race day comes out? Probably not. I don't think I need a new city for it, at least not yet. There will be a new city at some point. I'm thinking Plainville, but we got to finish this. We got to get back to New Boston. I got to take the starting soon off because technically we've started, even though I'm still ranting. Yeah, so Disney was crazy. Disney was entertaining. They ran the race. But that night, right? So my daughter, like, just ball of energy, 3:30 in the morning, runs a 5K, does all day at the park. and then closes out Magic Kingdom in the rain past 9 o'clock. Can't get her to bed before 11. Like, I don't know how she does it. Actually, I remember being a kid. You crash hard, but the quality sleep apparently, because she's ready to go the next day. She probably would have done the 10K on Saturday. They do, so this is a princess weekend. They do a 5K, 10K half marathon. Next year, my daughter will be old enough to enter the 10K, and I'm pretty sure she'll do it with my wife. I'm not buying that for a second, and we will talk about that, Adia. I missed nothing. You were well behaved. I doubt. I know. I have proof. So the other thing that Disney does is the Dopey. I don't know if anyone's heard of the Dopey, but that's a 4-day weekend, and people 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon. And there are people that are what's called perfect princesses or perfect dopies that like haven't missed a year and have finished all the races. Like, it's just, that's crazy. But I think my daughter was pretty psyched with running the 5K in Disney. She wanted to run, Grammy and Mom wanted to stop and take pictures with the characters along the way. It's not about the speed of the race. My daughter thinks she wants to win, though. She just wants to go as fast as possible. Insane over a 4-day period, right? Okay, hold on. Let me tell you. I found out about a guy. You want to talk about, so forget that, right? Forget the Dopey, 5K, 10K, 4K, 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon. Did you know that there's a guy, the Iron Cowboy, look him up, that did 101 Ironmans in a row. So he did 50 Ironmans in 50 states, and then he decided to break his own record and did 100. And then when he did 100, he's like, I may as well do 101. So 101 days in a row, he did what? It's a 2.5 mile swim, a marathon, and 100+ miles by bike. 101 days in a row. His like toes were gonna fall off. But that's forget the Dopey. That's the Dopey. That's the real Dopey, if you ask me. So how has everybody been? How are you holding up with the world? Do we talk about war? Do we talk about Anthropic and OpenAI? Do we talk about the Steam machine getting delayed and personal computing probably going the way of the enthusiast to elite and entry-level gaming and consoles probably not being a thing anymore? PlayStation has pushed back, I think, to like 2029 minimum release for a PlayStation 6, and they will probably have to push that again or cancel it, or make it $2,500 to $3,000. I don't know. Some people use their free will for crazy things. Yeah, I know. I made $1 billion in City Skylines. I am not running 101 Ironmans. But good for him, you know? As native Floridian and missing the first half of the conversation, getting T Florida is indeed... I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Alabama's the taint. Can we talk about Xbox for a minute, perhaps? Phil Spencer out, retired. Sarah Bond mysteriously resigns. Probably because she didn't get the... She would have been the natural succession to Phil. The stream is rated PG-13. The chat is apparently not. And since he's a mod, he gets away with it. So use your power wisely. What's this? Okay, so with Phil Spencer out and Sarah Bond leaving, now we have, I wrote it down. What's her name? I thought I wrote it down. Asha. What the hell is Asha's last name? Anyways, she comes from an AI background, formerly on the board of Home Depot. There's a scientific word for it. It's educational. I'm also somewhat of a scientist myself. So this woman, okay. The new Xbox CEO has a big AI background. She created her gamer tag last month, has a 10K gamer score across 29 games in 1 month. Apparently, she was sharing it with her family. She's a big gamer. When somebody asked her on Twitter, is like, what your 3 favorite games of all time were? Halo. What did she say? She said Halo, Valheim, and GoldenEye. She was born in 1989. She was 9 years old when GoldenEye came out. If she played GoldenEye, she did it one of two ways. With the controller unplugged, not knowing that she wasn't actually playing with her siblings. Somebody look up if she has siblings. Or being absolutely cannon fodder for somebody else. A dad, an older brother, a cousin, I don't know. GoldenEye's a decent pick. But she's born in 1989, and the game came out in 1997. And I don't know that would be that high on the list of a priority for a 9-year-old girl. Like, 9-year-old girl right now, my daughter wants to play Minecraft. She doesn't want daddy to absolutely dunk on her 25-0 because she can't figure out the RPG like a 9-year-old would be expected to not be able to figure out. I don't buy it. Like, everyone's saying like she has an AI background, like her responses are AI. She says that they're not. But for someone that created their gamer tag last month, you're a CEO of Microsoft. You didn't think to get separate accounts for your family if you were testing it out in the house? Here's the game she played. Get a listen to this batch, and it probably makes more sense that it's a family playing. But Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Fallout 76, Minecraft, Short Hike, DayZ, Madden, Red Dead, The Finals, Hollow Knight, Townscaper, and Control were some of the ones on her profile. It just 10K gamer score in a month. 29 games in a month. I don't know. It doesn't seem legit to me. With personal computing falling by the wayside for your average person in the next couple years, it's going to make consoles incredibly expensive. There's no way the next gen consoles doesn't come in under $1,000. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's you know how they've done the Series S and the Series X? I wouldn't be surprised if the entry point is like $1,200 to $1,300 for a lighter configured Xbox S, let's say. And then the X being like $2,000, $2,200, maybe even $2,500. And if PlayStation 5 is coming out or PlayStation 6 is coming out a couple years after that, you're talking like it might hit the $2,250 to $3,000 mark. If you've been thinking about getting a gaming PC, I honestly think now is the time, because companies are going to use this AI investment and put all the money there and use the shortage of hardware to either make you buy really expensive hardware if you can afford it, or just give us $35 a month. It'll be $40 a month in a year. It'll be $50 a month in 2 years for cloud computing and on-demand gaming. And it all happens on your phone or your Chromebook, which is affordable because it can't really do anything locally. So you'll buy it from us instead. Phil was a gamer, and did it really benefit Xbox? No, because at the end of the day, it's a $1 trillion corporation overseeing it. So Phil's old school. Phil made more money than Satya, the CEO of Microsoft. But the CEO of Microsoft gets insane stock options, and Phil just gets a high base pay. Decoy, it's funnier with the misspelling. Hey, Gork. Oh, man. Oh, my God. So, everybody, I hope you're well. Did I say hello to everybody, by the way? So, I leave for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, my Discord gets incredibly active playing Supermarket Simulator, and there's all kinds of HR violations happening in real life, and I'm sure the voice chat, knowing the crew that's in there. They were supervised at some points by responsible adults, but it looked like you guys were having fun. I hope you enjoyed, and I definitely got to check that game out, apparently. There's a lot of games, actually. It's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. Is like, what are we going to get into? Okay, so we went to Disney and Universal, and as much as I hate, I'm a very inclusive person. That's no secret around here. As much as I hate, what's her name? Harry Potter woman, J.K. Rowling, terrible human being. She's already a billionaire off the property. My Harry Potter dollars are not going to. My daughter and I got Ravenclaw robes because we're Ravenclaws. So I was holding off for the longest time buying the Harry Potter game a couple years back. And then all of a sudden, my trans sister-in-law is like, have you played the Harry Potter game yet? I was like, no, I wasn't playing it because of you. And she's like, you gotta play it. It's such a good game. I was like, okay. I give in. So I bought it and I never got around to playing it. So I'm pretty sure now that I have Ravenclaw robes and may or may not have a Severus Snape wand, it's just hypothetically that I'm probably gonna Ravenclaw playthrough. My wife hates being Gryffindor because they're sold out of all the merch everywhere. Because everyone wants to be a Gryffindor. Not because they are a Gryffindor, but because the Sorting Hat takes it into consideration and everybody wants to be the star. My wife is a Gryffindor, hands down. Cheeky is a Slytherin. And we have quite a few Ravenclaws, actually, in the City Skylines community, interestingly enough. Adia, Kanga, myself. Something about the city building games. I don't know. What else? What else did I miss? Ooh, yeah, Cities DLC. City Skylines 1 DLC, yay. City Skylines 2 DLC, nay. I think it's too early for that shit, but it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for them. Go Snakes, get out of here! I love that your name is green too. It's fantastic. Slytherin. I will say though, like, and that's the thing, like, as much as Slytherin gets a bad rap, whose wand did I buy? One of the bravest wizards of all time. Severus Snape. So I can't, my daughter has only seen the first movie and like she wants to watch the other movies. We've been holding off a little bit because they get PG-13 pretty quick. But she really got invested in the first movie and loves it. And loved the world, like the wizarding world, all the different places that we went to. She was just like absolutely loving the spells and moving stuff and the rides. So I told her we're gonna rewatch it this weekend, and then when my wife has time, we're gonna watch it together, the second one. And I think that she's ready to do like, I'm okay with her watching Prisoner of Azkaban, which I know has a bad rap. My wife reminds me every time I say this, like, it's the worst book, but it's the best movie. It's without a doubt the best movie in the series. The most amazing cinematography. It's like hands down, it's a good movie. The best of the batch, in my opinion. But there's some good moments in them all. But cinematography wise, it's way better at telling a story than any of the others. I think you're okay with the first 3 movies. Yeah. 4 is the Cup. Cedric Diggory, my boy. Yeah, the Goblet of Fire is where it gets serious. Is roadside fencing part of the update? Is that a thing? So what did I didn't pay too much attention. Let's talk DLC, right? So City Skylines 1 DLC. This is too much talking in my ear. I don't know how loud it is, but it's just too much. So City Skylines 1 DLC, I'm okay with. As long as it keeps running, like I don't know. I think I think Tantalus is doing okay. I would like to see, at this point, like, just scrap CS2 for consoles and work on Remastered. Make Remastered a little better. Build some of the Road Anarchy tools in. Like, I know you can do it. Like, it's not that much of a stretch from the game's capabilities. You know, we could get little things like that into this game and get people happy to invest in more of that DLC again. Not that there won't be plenty of people that will buy it. I'm buying DLC again. I don't get it for free anymore. I burned my bridges with potato mode. I mean, honestly, like, I don't think I said anything offensive. Those of you that have been around for a while, you can tell me. I say things how they are. I'm autistic as fuck, and sometimes it comes out a little harsh, but I have love for the series and appreciation for it. But like all my criticism, I feel very vindicated for, because like they got mad and stopped talking to me. You also fired the fucking people that made the game, so maybe I was right, dickheads. Fuck you. I'll still buy your shit so that people can see it here and make up their own minds whether they buy it or not. It is not a promotion as much as it is a cautionary tale at this point. Should you or should you not invest in some of these DLCs? Some of them have been trash. And that's the thing, like, Cities 2 does not need DLC right now. It needs more updates. It needs more fixing. Not for you to switch immediately to, we did a little thing and we made some promises, so now we're going to sell you more stuff. That's sleazy. And I just came back from Vegas. I should know. Like, that would fit in nicely in that town. By the way, did you know that if you use a mini fridge, like if you just put something in your mini fridge, that's a $50 charge? Did you know that if you charge your laptop in your hotel room, that's a $75 charge? I wonder why people don't go to Vegas as much anymore. What the fuck? Oh. So anyways, the double, by the way, one of those was for PDX, one of those was for Morena. Just her specifically. You built such a trash game, you got fired for it. I just don't think they should be turning around and selling DLC for it yet. Not that, you know, like the Ultimate Edition, like when did they finish releasing the Ultimate Edition? In December? It's March and they're releasing. They did not miss a quarter. Must have profits on the quarter. Didn't miss a fucking quarter for new DLC. Put it out before the end of March. We need money on the books. Oh, man. They don't call it lost wages for nothing. You got that right. Yeah, so new DLC comes out next week. Check it out here for City Skylines 1. I don't think I'm going to jump on City Skylines 2 DLC until I actually play the game. I have like less than 60 hours, I think, total. I still bought all the DLC. Want to talk about selling people more stuff? The Sims 4 is going to add a marketplace to the game so people can pay real money for in-game currency, which can't be obtained in-game. How is in-game currency not obtainable in-game? What is happening to commercialism? Like, this is how... Fuck it. Fuck it. This is how capitalism dies. They keep pushing DLC. Yeah, come on. In-game currency that you can't obtain in-game. Okay. Maybe we do some building. We try and forget about the world and all the horribleness that's happening, not just with gaming, but everywhere. There's that traffic again. I don't think they'll ever have Cities 2 release on console. I don't think that they should. I've said it before, so I don't. Wow, I am pasty white getting back from Florida and Vegas when that camera light kicks on. Hold on a second. Can I pretend that I got a tan? Ready? The whole room's orange. That doesn't work. Okay. The screen's just very bright. Stopping by to say hi. Well, hi. Right back. We're doing a little bit of work. We're popping back into Riverrun, and we've got $1 billion in the bank. So I figure we start spending some of it. We're gonna start. Oh mother.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Hey. So that was going on in the background. So we got that going for us, which is nice. So we're going to do some work tonight in the Colline Francese over here. This is our first neighborhood. This is where it all started. Way back in the day. Way back in it starts when, like the actual calendar year, right? So it started way back in 2025. We are in 2732. Challenge. What's your most futuristic city? If we go into what? Load game, does it tell us? Where's the in-game date? On the right-hand side. 2733. New Boston's 2052. Meme City 20. Okay, so Meander's 2096. Hasn't even broken 2100 yet. And then I get a bunch of cities that I never really spent time on. Westwood, you never saw. That was way back before release. Those cities are still available to me to load. They don't look like much, though. It was just me screwing around before the game came out. If you'll remember, I refused to do promotional footage for them for it. So that ought to tell you something. Hey, make us a trailer. Let me see the game. Hey, how about no? Go back, watch a trailer. There's no in-game footage. Road label, interstate decals, or even overlays. Some kind of mod or add-on we need. Yeah, more roads would be awesome. Some kind of intersection marking tool. Like, I don't need a whole new game. We need more roads, more asymmetric options. We need new road tools. Like, build it into this game and just keep selling us DLC and stop lighting my map on fire. Potato mode. Yeah. I hope people realize that, at the expense of a play button, I went the honesty route. It doesn't necessarily get a lot of subscribers, but it saves some people some money. Civil Engine, I have not, Michaela. I will check that out, though. Okay. Let me see here. So we'll ignore the fire in the background. I want to round out these neighborhoods a little bit. Specifically, this cliff edge over here. Like, this is just a grid that was built in a spot. And it is very obvious. It lines up with this road nicely, and I'm fine with this kind of zoning, right? So we've got zoning on this road. We've got a little bit of a buffer. And then we've got this arterial road, which has the occasional building on it, like our I was going to say our cemetery, but it's our crematoriums. It was spaced out for a cemetery, right? But I want to then use this space more. Because it wouldn't just be a grid slapped in there. Like, these roads would come around differently. So let's do some of that. We can definitely afford, with $1 billion in the bank, to move some of these people out. So how quiet do I have the actual game? Pretty quiet, I think. I can't hear it, at least. I don't know. The bulldozer's one of the loudest things. I just had the music up louder in my headset, I think. Okay, so if we do that, and then let's delete this road for now. This should be improving the road system and give us back the ability to go into third-person mode and drive cars. Wait. Give us back the ability to go into third-person mode. Drive. Did they get rid of that? Don't tell me they got rid of that. Are you sure? Drive, car, third person. I can't. I parked my car on a roof. That's cinematic camera. Yeah, if you zoom in and out with the triggers on console, you can get third person. I wish that triggers were braking gas. That would be better. Also, I wish the driving wasn't so squirrely that it goes so haywire so fast. But there we go. You should be able to do it on I don't know about not remastered. On remastered, you can do it. At least on Xbox. I don't think PlayStation would be different. So let's just get rid of this too. No, bulldozer, please. Yeah, we need more road tools. I'm fine with, more content packs and things like that if they're giving us some upgrades with the game too, but I don't think that's the case any longer. So let's see, how does this all kind of connect? Let's go from here. Can we do that maybe? And then maybe we curve this up and in like that. Can we bring, no way we can bring this straight down now, right? That's actually not terrible. And then what do we do over here? So there is this cliff edge that we want to leverage. So maybe something like that. And then this space, I think, should be better utilized as well. So what if we go from here to there? Something like that? Maybe? Why am I tilting my head instead of tilting the camera? I don't know. You probably do it too. What does that look like over here? Let's see what this looks like once we draw the roads in before we bother zoning it. If it looks like a more natural way for this space to be used in like from a zoning perspective, I think that it is. We've still got to take into account, where's this road? Does this road go nowhere? What is this road? This road doesn't go anywhere? I got to connect that to Holly Square, apparently. They added it in. I'm on PS5 able to do it. I thought you could do that in regular console version too, not just remastered. You should be able to do that on PS5 though. I could be wrong. I feel like that was always a thing on the console version that a lot of PC players asked about. Like, how do you do that? Play console version. So I'm not 100% sure about this, but I have seen things like this in real life. We could also, let's see, let's think about this. So we come up this hill, no zoning, a right into the residential neighborhoods. We're up here. Yeah, that works. I don't think we zone on Foggy Street. Do what on console? Sorry, playing 2 Point Hospital. Driving third person. I think that you can do that across console and remastered, right? I liked 2 Point. I mean, not to brag, I got paid to play it promotionally, and I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Didn't really take off on my channel, I'm sure, the way that they wanted it to, though, but I had a tutorial thing going, Okay, do we have a dinky little house? Sure, why not? I really got to come back through. I think it was Egg that told me if you level 4 everything, it won't like overdo the Art Deco houses, which is kind of nice. Would be nice. I didn't connect this road through. I didn't do up here yet. So hold on. Pause game. Thought they took it out of the game from Remastered. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, so check it out. So the buttons are a little different, of course. I'm hitting whatever the back button select. So when you go into your camera mode, you should have a walk, free cam, cinematic, and drive. I think that's on the old version too. And when you go into drive, you can hit A to put your car down, and then D-pad left and right to change cars, triggers to zoom in and out. And on Xbox, it's A and X, so X and square for braking gas. And as long as you left trigger, that might be part of the thing. Like you go in to drive the car, and your inclination is to hit right trigger for gas, and you're in that mode. And then once you realize like, oh, it's not triggers, it's easy to forget. But the triggers do control the camera, and then the right stick will control your camera angle. Okay. Anyways, Colline Frank Hazy. What do we do up here? So let's break this. So this, we have the, what is it? That's actually not a bad, that's fine. I got to look at putting more of these around the map, and I wish I did see one of the new things is that like different service building options. I hope there are larger downtown variants of the old folks home and childcare center. That would be awesome. We need more of those. So that could be something cool coming in the service buildings if they give us new variants of all of the service buildings, DLCs included. That would be really cool. I have a feeling it's going to be base game, but I don't know. Blue Egg, what is up? Good evening, welcome, or whatever time it is. I don't know where people are at. I mean, I know where some of you are at, of course. Eerily, specifically, in some cases. Especially when I ship those sweatshirts. Finally, I'm getting on that AC. I've been busy. Weird controls, but at least it's there. Yeah, it is very cool to experience the city that way. Okay, I wanna kind of follow the highway lines, but we don't have to get right on top. Let's do this. Does that actually connects perfectly? So we'll do that. Yeah, no, I haven't. I just haven't made them yet. The cricket is literally right here. I set it up in my office. The iron and decals are right here. And then in the black bins underneath here, I've got a black and orange sweatshirt in there in one of those bins. I did my, what did I do? I did my orange with the black text. And I still gotta do my black with the orange text, and then the two I was gonna do, the same two basically. Only play Remastered now. While I don't have access to mods, I cannot live without the other quality of life additions in Remastered. Yeah, it's really tough. Like it's a little weird getting used to where the what is it though? Like these road tools, like being all right here is, I think, really nice. This is not gonna work. We need to at least curve that in a little bit. Maybe like that. I don't know. It works better with the cliffside, that's for sure. Let's see what it looks like when it's all moved in. We don't even have enough residential demand to move these people back in. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. Let's do that. That's gonna not actually do anything. That's okay. You know, maybe we don't move people there. And we don't move people there. We do have to do some landscaping and some tree work around here. Next city will have sunken tram lines. Yeah, you know what I do like I like sunken tram lines. I really like what I did in Plainville. Plainville's one of my favorite builds stylistically. I think it's, let me see. Let me come over here. I think it's a 10 space, but I could be wrong. It might be a 12. Let's try 12. Yeah, so in a 12, you get a little zonable space here in the middle. And then what you can do is, that's with a 2-lane road. Make it an extra click out for a 4-lane road. I think you can still do it with that spacing. Hold on, let me see. Let's figure out if we can do it with that spacing. So it's a 12 spacing, which when we upgrade should take these zones right on top of one another. And then if you come into, where's tram? Which one's tram? That one. No, that's metro. That's tram. That's tram. And then you do the roads right up the middle. You have to potentially turn snapping off because you want it to snap to the center of the grid. But then you could do that. It gets a little wonky. I think if you may remember, there's a staircase in one of my roads that I could never fix. So maybe space it out where there's a little extra space where there's actually free zoning. But I really enjoyed that, as I had a one-way road going one way and then the other, and occasional cross-throughs, and the tram just like really makes that part of town. I know you can keyboard and mouse on console, but they don't let you remap the controls, which is super frustrating if you're used to playing on PC as well, because it's not an ideal control set. Okay, 3 times speed. Let's watch our next to non-existent residential demand hopefully slowly fill back in over here. But that like uses that space more. Like I just plopped a grid in there before. I think we can still clean up this section over here. Isn't quite right. And maybe this doesn't connect here. Maybe this comes down to this side road would make more sense. Like that. But then we can get rid of this. That's going to be a stupid little house. I would be pissed if I had a single family home in front of 1,000 people, homunculus, at a bus stop. That's got to be noisy. Would they live on the outer edge over here? Little hillside houses overlooking the river? I think so. I think that would be zoned. Did I not? Okay, we're not zoning over here. Let's take the zoning off of that street altogether, basically, up here until we get into this place where it likes to repeat houses. Hopefully we get a different variant there. Being able to come in, where is the tool? Hold on a second. Let me go over here. Did I do it in Central Park? I usually do. Yeah. I would love to see the ability to come in here and change variations. That would be awesome if you could come in and modify the variations without having to like bulldoze and do all this baloney in between. Right? It's like it's too much work. How are we feeling about Monster Cat? We okay with the Monster Cat? Monster Cat is back. I think we're on, what playlist are we on? Down tempo? Yeah. We're just on some down tempo, just chilling. One-way streets are broken if you use them to exploit service vehicles too. Interesting. Really trying to wean back and really plan out roads and zoning and development. Varied size zoning and one-way streets. Yeah. Varied size zoning is interesting. The vibes are great. Digging the Monster Cat? Okay. I figured, like, especially for streams, it is more of a vibe. And the way that their licensing works, like, is if you cancel your subscription with them, they claim the ad revenue on the videos. And for live streams, I'm okay with that because when are people watching it? When the stream happens. But for content, like when I do background music for a documentary or stuff like that, I'm gonna continue to use Epidemic for that. Because at least as their license currently stands, I can cancel my Epidemic subscription as long as I uploaded the video when I had a subscription, then it's whitelisted. Which I think is a much fairer way to do the license, and it's the way Monster Cat used to work, and they changed it at one point. You just, like, you have to agree to it or stop using it. I stopped using it, but it doesn't matter that I stopped using it before they changed the terms of service, or I never agreed to the terms of service. They still ripped the rug out from under my existing content that used it. So that was really frustrating. But hey, I'm making money again if you want to go back and rewatch Portsmouth. Ad revenue again, yay. I meant to ask, I don't know how many people have premium, but do you get ads on a channel you're a member of? Does it work like Twitch, where you get ads unless you're a subscriber? Do you get ads unless you're a member and then not get ads? I don't run ads on everything lately, but I do wonder how that works. Because I've been a YouTube Red or Premium subscriber since day one, or like month one. Back when it was called YouTube Red. By the way, there's 18 of you here. Thank you for tuning in. Membership gifting. Send 5. Congratulations, everybody. You're a member. Sin finally got a membership. Awesome. Awesome. Finally. Welcome, Sin. Welcome to membership. I know Sin finally caught one. You now have the Helmo emote. There's pain. You can remind me when I forget to unmute my mic. But welcome. Here's some Pepe love for you. One of us. Okay, so this side, I think this is gonna shape up a little bit better. I think this makes more sense over here. At least this half of the neighborhood does. We might connect some pedestrian paths and things through here. That could be kind of cool. That could be kind of cool. Let's do that. Hold on a second here. Where's our pedestrian paths? Probably the regular ones. Now, they don't need to come out to the highway. Where do we really need pedestrians? I mean, I guess we don't have any bus stops or anything out here, so they're not particularly useful, the pedestrian paths, if we did them. We could do one right here. That's not a terrible one. This could be okay as well. Oh, no, it couldn't. No, it couldn't. Hold on a second. We're going to get a little bit more creative with that one because that is a slope. That is... Let's see. Can we start over here maybe? So without affecting zoning, how ridiculous does that look? That looks... Okay, never mind. Nope. Never mind. We don't need a path over here. That's fine. They can walk down the street. That's too crazy. I was getting so sick of emptying this cemetery. But for the purposes of appearances, now that we're kind of in that end game stage of trying to make things look more the part, we'll empty the cemetery. It fills this lot a little bit better. You've got the crematoriums on either side, the rows of the pink bushes. I did spend a little bit of time working on these plots, and then I see this. That's terrible. Okay, hold on a second. Refund. What can we do with the terrain here? So this is awful here. So will that be hopefully a little bit better? I don't know. Let's see. So 4-lane road will come up through here. That may still create a hill just because of the incline this road is on, huh? Is it a little better? It just placed further up now. What if we place the crematorium and then level behind it? So hold on a second here. I think we can do a little bit better. But I could be totally wrong and just creating the exact same scenario that we ran into. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be any different, actually. Never mind. We're creating the exact same problem. I could move that down one, maybe, on either side. Let's consider that. If this is... I don't know. Is that better? I feel like that's better. It's not perfect, but like we don't have mods. What are we gonna do? Old folks home across the street from the cemetery. I mean, it is usually my philosophy. I also like to put them next to the hospital too. That way if the hospital doesn't fix them, that's a quick trip too. It's not as offensive, right? Like, put it on a 10. Okay. Who's making content on consoles still, I wonder? I'm curious, and other than you and me. Or are you saying we're the two? Looks like a water canister. I can see that. It's the, I think, is it the old mouse icon or the new mouse icon? I should probably update them. Don't worry, I won't change the orange. Or at least it would be another, it would be a similar orange. Okay, so less offensive, agreed. So I think I want to do this street down here. I might reconsider this up here. Because should this be aligned with this road? It probably should be. This is kind of silly up here. Hold on. We're already moving a bunch of people out. Because we should have been following that road as a guide. Okay, let's do this. Over here, roads, 4-lane, right bumper down to zoning and none, and then we upgrade. Because we don't need zoning on that segment in particular. Now when we come back in here, zoning back on. And then when we do this. So let's get in. We want to have a little bit of a buffer. I'm okay right here. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll connect these. We'll delete the last segment. And curve those into one another. We won't build on the outer side of that road. Can we connect this straight through? Let's do the same thing over here. We'll curve this in really late. And then we should be able to get one more block in here. No? Okay. I'm not feeling the lyrics. And I don't have a play pause button on that Steam Deck page. Okay. What do we got? Let's change it up a little bit. Hold on a second. Let's get a little. We're gonna up the energy a little bit. We were doing some down tempo. This is some glitch hop, which might be a considerable bump in energy, but we'll see. Okay, how do we curve this in? That could work. I mean, both the road and the glitch hop. Okay, we're not going to zone out by the road. That's our buffer. That will remain our buffer for consistency in the area. Let's delete these houses because those are on an old grid and they may stay there because they're still zoned. This is going to be a big drop. Why the lyrics? Why the lyrics? Don't do that to me. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. Nobody needed that. Music's loud now. Yeah, that was too. Maybe the vibe change was not a good idea. Maybe it was doing just fine. Oh yeah, why is this tab that loud? It's definitely louder. 33, please. How about that? That should be in a better spot, similar to... Don't lyric me. To give me a lyric filter if you're going to keep doing this to me, Monster Cat. Okay, never mind. Okay, 3 times speed. Move them back in. We got a crime problem over there. It's fine. They fixed it. I was going to say this could be a nice path for a footpath. A nice spot for a footpath, but it's not really necessary. I don't think anybody's going to take it because nobody's... Like, who needs to go up here? Also, that's going to take out a pine tree to do it, so let's not do that. I mean, we could fill it in. We could put some park objects. I could also smooth that out before I... That's a little steep. People are going to trip on that. I think I want to clean up this neighborhood also. Or not clean it up, but make it a little more like it fits the space. We are getting more snow up here, by the way. Like, we didn't get enough snow. There's more. But then also, like, 70s next week. So, like, New England. 3 feet in the snow ground, 70s in the next couple days later. It's totally normal. I might... Do I even connect? No. That maybe. But not to the highway on the outside. Okay. So, since we're here, let's double check. Not the eyedropper. No. Let's double check what we got going on over here. So I think, like, I do have some realistic stop signs here or there. It shouldn't slow things down in these neighborhoods. Like, how would it be, you know? Like, you might even have four-way stops in a residential neighborhood like this, but you would definitely stop the cross-street traffic and let the other one roll through. And then when it comes to a T intersection, you'd stop it there. But, like, is that just... That's just, like, we don't need it. You could do that, but we don't need it. Maybe around like major intersections like this. Maybe also what would be cool is if we could say no parking without having to do a grass lined street to do it. That would be awesome. But whatever, we do what we do what we do. Bring back Epidemic. So we haven't done Epidemic tonight, but if they keep dropping the lyrics on us, we might. Expecting rain all weekend, positive Celsius all next week. Yeah, that's wild, right? A wild change. Okay, do we move in all the way down here? Like to there, maybe? We wouldn't want to live like right on the highway. These are going to be some lumpy... Oh, there's going to be a lumpy house in here. That's going to be a good one. What do we do up in the industry, though? Like, I have demand. Do I squeeze some office space in here? That wouldn't be as bad from a traffic perspective. Do we have... We don't have Shizen. We don't have high-rise ban over here. And I don't want a bunch of tall office buildings moving in. I could historical and go through like one by one. This is a little weird over here with these lots. Look at all this junk in here. Office, keep it low level. Yeah, I mean, do we historical it? What do we do? Or is there... We could wall-to-wall some office, because even those maxed out isn't that big, right? Where's my wall? Come on! Guys, what's going on? Why? All over the city? Things are happening? So yeah, we could, I mean, I could get a little bit of office in here. Like, what if we did this? What if we had an office park in the back here? So we could even leave a space for, let's see what we do here. We could leave a space for footpaths. I know I used grass line streets. We can fix that after. Would it be okay to have another intersection here? I feel that it would. We got to come in and turn off the 4 lanes for sure, or the four lanes, the stoplights that we just made, and we can stop the traffic here and here. And here, and here. Okay, now footpaths that way, and then this way. Does this have? Can I connect from there? I can't. Will it connect if I do this? It will. Okay. Well, that's all right. That works. And then do we connect down here just for the heck of it? Okay. So what do we have here? We have residential. Residential. Is this commercial over here? So we don't have any office space to find. If we wall-to-wall office, let's see what that looks like. So what do we do? Where is that? Stop lyricizing me. Sometimes it bothers me more than others if like it interrupts my thought process. Office wall-to-wall buildings. Let's do that. Let's double check our zone. Yeah, we should be good there. Okay. Who do we got? Summit. Glow. This may as well be a Massachusetts town name there. I'm trying to pronounce. I don't even know what that is. Glow. Glaui. It's pronounced Glaui. Glaui's from the Colline Francese. The Colline. Okay, we stamped down wall to wall on the office front. This bursts into flame more often, so that should be fun. And then what if we did? So we're gonna do here. I'm gonna be careful not to zone because it will, because of where I drew the roads. It will build in a little one office that the path just dies at. Let's see what this looks like. If we do, well, I could have done that. I like where this is going. I'm afraid that where it is going is to lyrics, though. So fingers crossed. I feel like if there were lyrics, they would have come in right there. I think we're safe. Man, those buildings get tall fast. I don't think they get much taller though. But is that too much for this area? I don't know. We gotta consider it. Ignore the fire. We gotta consider it from the angles and the views. This is one of my favorite views over here. So let's see. Does it even have an impact on that part of the skyline? Not really. Not yet. That's okay so far. I'm okay with it. Let's let it grow in a little bit. And see what the area looks like. It looks a little chaotic there. We're gonna fix this up bit by bit. And it's the Colline Francase's turn tonight. I said a lot of things, Sin. Most of it nonsense. I have a long documented history of it here.
It allows us to have 16 times the detail. All new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology, and even view distant weather systems across the map.
Okay, thanks, Todd, for the update. Todd chimed in and then the music died. $70 game. I gotta figure out how expensive this game was and make a tag for that. $490 game. You think I'm gonna carry my own bags? The guy in the $1,700 suit? The guy in the $3,000 suit? The guy in the $6,800 suit? Seriously though, this game is expensive. So tune in next week to check out the new DLC to see an honest take on it. I do recommend a lot of them. Like, some of them make some actual genuine gameplay improvements and some interesting things. I don't like the micromanagement, the overmanagement in Cities 2, and I think they're starting to back that down. But I do really like the balance that like campus and park life and plazas and promenades provide. There's some really interesting stuff they do in those. That's why I weighted all of my DLC purchases on deep sales. It is not a bad idea. Okay, how are we coming in over here? And is it offensive? Like, what if you lived over here? Let's see here. So, let's say I'm a resident of Riverrun. I mean, I'm not thrilled to have the office buildings potentially seeing into my backyard. We could fix that with more trees here. We could fix it with some fencing. I think like increasing the trees here a little bit even. Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't even insulate on the other side of the road. So before we worry too much about the actual view here, let's come in. Okay, that is not thick enough there, that brush. A mixed tree brush would be awesome. Like, honestly, like how difficult would that be to implement? To be able to let me put down like 3 or 4 types of trees at the same time. That wouldn't be asking that much. Okay, so now we can even get, a little creative if we wanted to block out some key strategic sight lines here. I don't want to overdo, what is this, the Norway spruce? It is one of my favorites, but too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Unless it's chocolate and peanut butter, am I right? Actually, no, I've made my stomach hurt. It could be a bad thing too. Calling for Casey could never be offensive. I mean, I'm thinking about this honestly, right? Like, if you're, again, let's see if this made improvements. You live here. You step out of your single, you get wedged in the wall of your single family home. I'm totally stuck. I do have an interesting view here, though. Okay, so let's try that again. So you don't get stuck in the wall of your single family home. You come out on your porch. That's a fairly, I don't want to call it an obstructed view, because that's not what we're going for here. It's not technically obstructed. You want it to be obstructed. Like you're seeing the trees that are padding that view. So you're out here cooking out. So somebody could be spying on you while you're cooking out, I guess. We could put a tree here. If I'm on, wow, this guy can jump. That's a little bit better, Hanging out in my pool. Nobody's probably watching me. Oh, never mind. So there's downsides to city living. But for the most part, like if let's walk down the street. Or I know we're cartwheeling down the street, but we're gonna do this. It's uh-oh. I didn't do it. I did not do it. It wasn't me. It was her.
Maybe I'm being again. There is something going on this street.
What's going on here? Do we have to do an investigation? Who's our detective? Harold? Is Harold a detective now? Wait, what is this guy doing here? He's looking for a getaway car is what he's looking for. Maybe something a little less conspicuous, game? Much less conspicuous. Okay, no, getaway vehicle. We need a getaway vehicle. What do we get from the suburbs? A station wagon, perfect. Okay, we just got to figure out how to get to the airport. The airport. We got a ride waiting for us at the airport. I'm pretty sure I know how to get to the airport. I don't know if this is the fastest way, but we're gonna. Whoa! No! You can swim! Okay, anyways, so I mean, he deserved it, right? He had killed multiple people on that street. Stop, I've been craving chocolate all week, sorry. My wife does not have like a super sweet tooth. I literally ask her to like hide or lock up chocolate because I will eat it. I will eat it all. That's not the airport, that's the bottom of the river. That's Davy Jones' locker. Hey, I mean, we were role-playing a guy who just murdered multiple people on a street, so like I don't feel bad for him. He got what he deserved. Okay, satellite view. Okay, so we're this is what we're worried about. Let me show you the Coline for AKZ again from a district view. This is what we're trying to work on right here. This part. So up above the river and inside this highway, including a cut right down this main road. So like this is kind of what we're evaluating. Now I'm starting to be okay over here. This is a little bit better. I almost want to landscape this and fill this in and do something over here. I mean, maybe it's just like maybe we make a park, like a nice big spaced out park, some footpaths and a gazebo. It doesn't even matter if there's a lot of people using it. Like just to fill in that space a little bit. And then there would be like a back access road. Maybe that's where like there's a softball field or something by the train tracks. And that connects under here back to this road. I don't know what we do. I still need to do like a country village here, which maybe this is the spot for it now. But this is starting to fill out a little bit better. At least, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about not having houses on this side, but my God, man, look at the cliffs. I mean, I guess you do see, you kind of do see houses like this. What you don't see is a row of beach chairs and miniature pools on the roughest terrain you've ever seen, and people in suits chilling in them. Look at him sitting sideways in this chair in his suit on his mountainside. I don't even know, what is this? A beach chair? Like what? I don't know. I feel like they went an extreme the other way, handling the lots in the new one. Like the lots like roll with the terrain. It's really weird. Where these just force some weird terrain changes and then decide like you've got a 17-foot tall picnic table. Like look at it, like who's grilling like this? Just put the grill on the patio at that point. Like when you're testing and this is what happens, like put the grill on the patio, man. Put it up here. It's fine. It'll be fine on the patio. You don't have to put it on the grass when the grass doesn't exist. Do we have more murders happening over here? What's going on? If there's a hearse right behind us, I'm going to be very concerned that we are bad luck. Fuck off! Fuck off! I was fucking joking. There's another one. I don't even know what's happening anymore. That couldn't have been more perfect. So I'm feeling okay about this so far. I think we do the same thing over here to help kind of round us up. So this is still the Skylines Francesi over here. I think we do the same thing along this road where we force more housing along, what is it, Elizabeth Drive, this 2-lane highway basically, where we've got these grids slapped in there. Again, I'm fine with the buffer of trees and having that little separation. In fact, this needs a little amping up, or a fence or something. There's definitely not enough there. I'd like to have Egg review this one when I'm all said and done, and I know he's going to say that there's too many trees, but I'm pretty sure Adia can attest and AC can attest like what it's like living up in the Northeast. If there isn't a road or a house or a parking lot, there are trees. They're everywhere. Jay Murray, what up? Welcome back. We're in Riverrun. If you've missed it, there's been a lot of streams you can go back and check out, but we are at $1 billion. Starting to spend it and invest back into the people. Not too much. Like, we're not giving them smoke detectors or things like that. You can buy your own. I gotta buy my own. 10-year battery, my ass. I want to talk to somebody in customer service, please. It's nothing but trees between Pittsburgh and Philly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you didn't build something on top of it, there's trees there. If you cleared it out, it was for a parking lot or a baseball field. Or industrial. Man, the Pit DLC. Fallout 3. They need to remaster Fallout 3 and do it right. Fucking Todd. And I'm sorry, I've dropped a couple F-bombs at this point. We're definitely past the PG-13 stream. But you can get away with it a little later. But seriously, Todd.
16 times the detail.
He's talking, I didn't mean to hit it again. He's talking about, he wants to do the same thing. Like, if they're going to do a remaster of 3, which they said that they were going, like, it got leaked. Like, we know you're fucking working on it. If they're going to do a remaster of 3, it would be like Oblivion. Like, we don't want to like reinvent it too much. Like, we want people to experience the past. Like, no, dude, reinvent it, please. Get rid of your crappy engine. Do it in Unreal. I don't care how long it takes. Do it right. Don't give us a slightly upgraded version. You missed your chance to capitalize on a series. You broke the game with the previous next-gen update. You broke the game again with the anniversary update. not giving us anything meaningful in the process, except new ways to monetize the game. Come on. Don't commit to being mediocre, is as I guess what I'm saying. Because I feel like that's what they're doing. They're just totally committing to being mediocre with the remake. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's see. How big of the hill is this? I think that will work. I think this will work. But let's see. And then we want a road this way. And then at that point, we want to do that. But what do we do over here? I feel like this is... Do we bring this road up? Like, does Harvey Street come up this way and not intersect here? I think it's okay. People aren't going to be using it. Well, they might use it as a pass-through from here. Are we still in... Oh, wow. There's 2 4-lane roads that cut through the Skylines Francesi. That's some serious traffic handling. I didn't realize how big this district was. Just clip that Hearst moment. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. I wish I had a faster... I gotta set up my Steam Deck with a faster way to pause the web music so that I can cut over when I do that kind of stuff. I'll get there. So I have my computer off for 2 weeks. Boot it back up, updates, and now like all my audio is crisscrossed. I had to reset it all. So I am still like running into things that don't necessarily work right, which is frustrating. Windows 11 and audio, even on a new build, fresh load of Windows, has been not fun. Okay, so we'll connect to this silly little 2-lane road that way, but we're not going to connect to the 4-lane road that way. So let's continue this nonsense this way. Like that. What is this broken commercial zoning down here? I didn't even notice that. I guess we did. I did have zoning on the road out here way back. Okay, let's see. Let's see how that fills in. We'll give it a little bit of time. There is some residential demand, so that it might actually fill in. We'll see. We'll see. Windows 11 sucks. It really does. And then you got them talking about like, oh yeah, no, the AI is writing like 20% of our code already. Huh? I believe it. It's probably handling the audio drivers. We recommend you use a stream bitrate of 6,800 kbs, and I'm doing 10, whatever. Hopefully, does the stream look okay? What do we think? How's the detail? It's kind of tough to tell, I guess, when it's not moving. Here. Does it look like City Skylines Remastered? Do the trees look ick? I wish we could replace the trees in those props. Those like park objects, those campus objects. That would be awesome. The same way you can change them in roads, like if you could change them in the buildings. That would be amazing. Stream looks great. Okay, excellent. So I'm not going to worry about YouTube telling me I'm sending it too much data. You can handle it, YouTube. I could back it down a little bit, I guess, if I'm sending 10,000 KBS when I only need to send 6,800, but whatever. If it's handling it, it's handling it. I'll take it. Where I'm still trying to get Monster Cat all figured out, and it's like hitting somewhere around. Let me see. In this, it's peaking in the green at just above 30. I mean, it's a vibe, but it's not overwhelming the music. Are we having a good background vibe with it? I could also look at my talkover settings for it. Do I have a compressor set for it? Filters, compressor, 5 fine. The release is not very long, and the compression is not that high, but it should duck a little bit when I talk and then come almost immediately back up. I could make it more dramatic of a duck. I don't know if that's necessary, but AC heading to bed, got an early start tomorrow. Meeting trainings. Wish were emailed. Oh man, have fun with that. What time is it? 10:30? I won't be too much longer. I will not be too much longer. I don't know that we got a ton done tonight, but there was a little bit of work in the Coline Francesi. But I think you kind of get the idea. Like it's not necessarily its final form. In fact, it's still looking a little boxy. I want to fix it at different spots. Like this road is wrong. I think we can do better here. I think it makes more sense for this to like come out like that maybe. And then maybe we break this and it comes into there. Or maybe like this is the main road. Hold on a second. I think that could work too. Anyways, okay, we're moving one problem from over here to over there. Or not it's a problem, but you get the idea, right? We're gonna fill in these little spaces bit by bit, rework these neighborhoods. I'll delete that house, fix this zoning. Why? Okay, delete that. Good night, AC, to the Coline Francesi as well. We'll take good care of it in the meantime, and we'll update another neighborhood on the next one. I might work on this and keep tweaking it and tuning it until I figure out what I like. But basically, that's going to be the idea. Is we'll come up with some ideas on how to do some things with each neighborhood and kind of max out the city. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about maybe not zoning this side, and maybe we'll just have a couple offices here or there. We'll delete some of the repeats. We'll put in some plazas. We'll open up some of this space. Let's do a little bit of that right now. So let's look at what have we unlocked here? I haven't unlocked a lot of stuff because I haven't done any pedestrian areas. What are these all the service buildings and stuff? Those are the streets. Because I don't even have a pedestrian area, but you can use these things anyways, right? Do we have one of these in the city? I do love these a lot. I don't know if this would fit right here. It won't, will it? Not with that road where it is. This isn't the spot for it. Is this a spot for it? It is the Coline Francesi. I just want to see what this looks like over here. It is frustrating that it's not quite symmetrical. It's so weird. This one has bushes. This one has bushes plus a footpath. Let's demo that for now. I want to look at maybe dezoning on this side. Interconnection seems lacking. You should add pathways and elevated paths. That's not a bad idea. I haven't done much elevated paths, and they really are kind of these isolated pods. But like that's kind of the thing. Like when I don't know, do you play on console or on PC with mods? Because one thing I've become over reliant on is sort of this like arterial framework where you've got these neighborhoods, like there's a ton of residential traffic, but because it can only intersect with the arterials at a few different points, you can really control the traffic. Because the other thing is you can use policies like Old Town to keep traffic, districts, to keep traffic within a district basically. So you can't drive through, in this case, the district that we're looking at, unless you're going to someplace in that district, which means that people never get off the highway because they shouldn't traverse this road, and they don't like come on the highway here to cut through to get to Franklin Hills. They're going to drive all the way down to at least here where they can hit a road in the middle that can turn in there, or they'll come all the way down here to say this highway exit. So it gives you a really good way to use districts and some of that craziness to try and I don't know how good we're doing. We're at 87% traffic flow, no mods, 125,000 people, and not like, I'm not over engineering traffic. Like we're using pre-built intersections. We're doing stupid diamond interchanges near really heavily trafficked areas, but we're giving that traffic multiple ways to get back to the highway. Like they can come up here. I do need to fill in, like this is a little weird over here. We got to build some stuff, but like, it gets a little backed up, but no mods, 125,000. And we're like almost touching 90% traffic when it's flowing good. That's pretty decent. So like, that's why you see some of that, some of that difference. I like to make it more realistic. You would have stuff everywhere. And in fact, let's save. Let me show you realistic for a minute, because we haven't been there in so long. Is it? I just want to confirm my save. 3/3/1041. Okay. Let's load up New Boston. So I'm remaking Boston and City Skylines Remastered, and it's not 1-to-1, but we are like taking serious beats from the neighborhoods. And one of the first and craziest ones is basically the start of the Shawmut Peninsula way back in the 1630, where they had a couple houses, a couple fields, and a bunch of swamp and hills, and the roads are crazy around it. And they built out from there, these really crazy roads at the north end. And then as they built up the different neighborhoods, they literally just kind of cut the hills down, filled in the water, the clay flats with land, and kind of grew up chunk by chunk. And Boston is like one of the most cut up looking ridiculous cities. It doesn't make any sense until you understand its history and look at the map over generations. And then you can certainly understand it. It's a great lesson in what not to do from a city planning perspective, which is to consider the entire city, right? And they didn't do that. They really kind of built out chunk by chunk. In the 50s, they tore a gigantic highway through it. And then in an effort to correct that mistake in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, they dug all that up, tore up so much more of the city to create the big dig and tunnel that highway under the city. It did nothing to improve the traffic. It just buried it underground, and you can still see that scar in the city today. Sorry the load time's so slow on Remastered. I think Sin was telling me his is much faster. I get something going on. It's definitely installed on the right part of the disc. But this is a more realistic city. You've got the chaos of the north end, and I know it's a little repetitive in terms of the buildings, but we're doing what we can. There is Beacon Hill. There's Boston Common, oldest park in the country. And then, like, one of the more recent neighborhoods is this perfect grid, and it is, alphabetized Arlington, Berkeley, Clarendon, Dartmouth, all the way down to Mass Ave. This is where they wanted, you know, the rich voters to stay in the city. So they built a nice fancy flat grid neighborhood of all these nice 3-story townhouses. So in this case, we're recreating a lot of that. So like we certainly could do realism. And in the case of Boston, we're leaning into horrible roads and traffic, but it's pretty spot on. So that'll definitely be making a return very soon. Back to Riverrun though. Sorry, I had to divert. I had to go look at it. It's been so long since I looked at New Boston. Eventually, I gotta stop talking about it. Eventually, I'll have the documentary on Boston out, but there is a really interesting story behind all those roads and the growth. And it's one thing to like slowly rebuild it in the stream. I think it's gonna be a really fun story to tell. I've read a lot of good books on it. I've watched a lot of different YouTube videos and learned all this history, but I think there could be a fun way to break it down, at least that I have not seen. I've got a different vision of how to tell that history, and it is very much told through the chaos of the streets. And I think it's just like a quick footnote in most of the videos that I've seen, and it literally is the story of the history etched in its roads. I love it. I love Boston for that reason. It just looks so crazy and nonsensical, and again, it is, but it also is just, there's so much story in how each of those neighborhoods snap together. Generations, hundreds of years, way older than the country. 1630. You know, I mean, it's got stories to tell. And I guess I've got one too. I'm working on it for a very long time. Gotta figure out the load times. Fix that, Remastered, please. So new DLC's coming. Maybe I'll do a little research on what those are. I'm not particularly excited about the race day one. I mean, it is interesting to see, you know, foot races and street races, and I'm sure some people will be into that. I think, you know, if you use them all right, you can do a lot of interesting things in the city, or certainly thematically use a couple select ones. But things like the content creator packs are almost, I think, non-optional at this point if you're still building cities in 2026 on console. Like, you just need some variety, and you don't get it through mods. Yeah, I don't want another stadium. You okay with a marathon going through your city, though? That's kind of cool. Do I watch the... I'm not set up to do this. City Skylines, what? City Skylines official. Race day. Oh, did Egg do a tutorial on racetracks? They're gonna have music, right? Dang it. I wish I could do a Scottish... Is he Scottish? No, he's not Scottish. British? Why do I not know? I don't know. I don't know where. I feel like is he northern? I don't know where he's at. I'm shameful. I don't know what the Brits know about American accents. Why did I say Scottish? I know he's not. I think he's far north though. It does look really nice. I can't do the sound. I can't. Okay, I'll do my best American version of Egg here to my own music. This is gonna be awful. We have enough stadiums and concerts. Shut up about the concerts, Kung. Shut up about the concerts. We don't have concerts. I feel like you said that on purpose, very much intentionally. Where is my... Hang on a second here. So if I go into studio mode... Capture... What do I want to do? I want to do a window capture. Okay, hold on a second here. I gotta get ready for this. Well, I got this. Well, hello, people. No, that's it. My name's Overcharged Egg, and I make city building videos over on YouTube's. This is my best egg impression. And today I'm collaborating with Paradox on a new expansion from Tarantula Studios. Oh yeah! Transforms our streets into high-octane racing, cycling, and running events. The parade's kind of cool, but like, does that take over that main road all the time with a constant parade? Like, I don't see this as, is this an event thing? Okay, I'm going to learn right here. Because what I need it to be, is Egg in the room with us? What I need it to be is like a campus stadium. I need it to change my roads into a running route. Like, I want a marathon going through my city, but I only want those gates up on the roads on marathon day, on event days, like, you know, like a sporting event happens at a campus stadium. I have a feeling what we're about to see is setting up a completely separate independent running course. And I'm going to be disappointed if that's what it is. With our race headquarters down, we can now place our racetrack. Feel free to look at real-world circuits for inspiration. Freestyle... I'm sorry, I'm not doing the egg voice. Which can be found in the new tab under the roads menu. Yeah. Okay. Configuration of circuit. Add some pit lanes. Okay, so this is making a racetrack. It's specifically the I want to know about the running, because this obviously okay. New spectator mode. And if you fancy a traffic challenge, why not feed the race through your city streets? Okay. Although, make sure to provide alternate routes during race events. Yes! They nailed it! At least they nailed what I want from a racetrack running through my city. It sounds an awful lot like the streets are closed. Traffic will still need to flow. This is a cool consideration. Okay, I'm actually really happy with that. Okay, sorry. What is he saying down below? I wasn't reading it. Okay, so less traffic will still be. The next video in the series will be talking about the new running and cycling events and how you can host fantastic parades through your cities. So as long as it is a route that you define that changes the roads temporarily on event days, if that's what this is, I am totally okay with that. That's a huge area. I mean, he was building a like an F1 circuit track. So like they're going to have hundreds of thousands of, like a couple 100,000 people watching that probably. So it would kind of be like that. The question is, can you pull a Vegas and have it running through your downtown and messing up all your traffic? And you can. It sounds an awful lot like from what he described. I want much more detail. But if it is a route that you are defining, so he says right here after he talks about the racetrack, which again is going to be huge if you're doing a racetrack like that, or it certainly should be huge. But why not feed it through the city streets, Monaco style, and make sure to provide alternate routes during race events? So I'm pretty sure, like, you see how the road is blocked off here? And it's just standard zoning? Like, there's no way, like, this is a permanent thing. You define a route and it's a race day and this goes up and then it's got to come back down. The city can't function like this. If it does, that's going to be a really weird DLC that I'm going to dunk on, but I'm feeling it's not going to be that. Like, I feel like it's a route that happens on race day, and it's going to be the same thing with the cycling events or the marathon, because you can see, right, like zone buildings, residential, commercial, and a marathon route, or at least a running route. It'd be fun to like actually run, to actually see like a full marathon in your city. I wonder if it could actually calculate the distance. But if that is the case, I have actually high hopes for this being an entertaining thing that you can do in the city. You could have parades. Oh my God, my daughter's gonna love this. A parade that she can run around as a wolf or a bird mascot. She's gonna love it. So I'm okay with this one. This could be a very interesting thing to add into the city. I like it. I like the creativity here. This is different. I'll have to watch it when I'm not destroy my voice. When Egg is presenting, I'll have to listen to it. What is the other thing? City Stations is the creator pack. Right? That's the Cities 2 DLC. We're not even gonna get into that. Office Evolution creator pack. Like I don't need more DLC for Cities 2. I need Cities 2 to be a better game. Okay, there's 2 more things that are coming for what do we got here? So this is Iconic Brutalism. This one looks interesting. I think, is this the one with the service buildings? Or is that the other one? So new stations, new buildings, 18 service buildings, 5 uniques, 3 plazas. The water looks trash, but the buildings look cool. I mean, seriously, like, come on, I'm not knocking the I'm not knocking the creator here, but like that is not a great way to show that off. Like that would be cooler without the running water at that point. Like I'm sure that looks better not like with some kind of mod. It's okay though. I like it. I like the additions here. It certainly gives us something. Oh no, the screen. Oh my God, I'm just watching over here. I'm watching it reacting, and you don't see it. I'm an idiot. I'm a colossal idiot. Hang on a second. Put this over. No wait, no. Did I just? Yeah, no. I totally froze it. I totally froze it. Don't crash on me, Chrome. Okay, what if we do this? Does this work again? No, it does not. This one. Okay. So, I hope you enjoyed the blurred screen. I'm an idiot. Let me get out of studio mode. So I like that station. That is nice. I like some of these buildings. I'm excited about 18 new service buildings. But that water right there, that's what I was talking about. That's what all the fuss was about. That water does not make all this work look good. I love that little metro station, and that building is pretty cool. Plaza's mid, I won't lie. I want to know what these buildings are. But I love that path, especially between the buildings. So that's a decent one. I think, did they put out bundle pricing for this yet? I think it's like $20 for the 3 of them. What is the third one? And then the third one is, can I switch tabs? That's what was messing me up before. And then renewed history is the third one. So if let me see, if I bring the tab over, does that work? That works. Renewed history. Content creator pack from Brum. Those buildings look beautiful. Balanced old with new, so it's kind of like the financial district's philosophy. I like how this is implemented better. It looks like better versions of that philosophy. So if you look at financial district in New York, like you've got a lot of these buildings just like this, like old, you know, early 1900s, late 1800s structures that then have skyscrapers built basically on top of them, and there's two very distinct styles, and you can see a couple of those mixtures happening here in some different ways. And I really like this as a nice option. I was not a fan of the way the financial districts look. This tells the same historical story, I think, in a much better looking version. I don't know if it's enough to make a full district, but you don't necessarily need a full district of it to kind of bring that into your city, especially if you use it sparingly at the right intersections where things open up and kind of create some new things. We're here, so let's look at office evolution and city stations while we're here. Is that not going to let me drag that tab in? Why is it asking me to take the whole window? Oh my god. Why are you so annoying? Why are you so annoying? And why is that old browser frozen in the background? Yeah, it's just totally frozen there. Well, I literally can't make that go away. Okay. Hold on. I don't know why Google just froze like that, but let's try this one more time. Let me get both the tabs open first. Maybe that is part of my problem. Two seconds. Okay. So this is off. Oh, it's by Titan. Okay. Titan does good stuff. Again, though, like it's Cities 2 paid DLC. It's too soon. It is too soon for this. They really they need to give me more base game first. But look at that. This looks great. Titan is an excellent creator. Titan worked on some of the, I believe, the European, what do they call them? Region packs. He was working on stuff very early. These are great. Do I want to plunk down money in Cities 2 for it, though? No. I need a better game. I already bought a bunch of DLC that I regret because, like, the Ultimate Edition is here and it wasn't a better game. It's not the content that made the game what it is. I've been on vacation. I haven't caught up on. I gotta see what Egg has to say, and not throw out my voice trying to do an impression. This is the City Stations one. Like, I don't know if there's actual gameplay behind this one. Like, again, like that looks great. I didn't see who the creator was. Maybe it's them, but Transit meets Design. Like, that's a very cool station. Another very cool station. I'm intrigued, but I know the game that's sitting under it is not going to interest me. You know what? I maybe I have to give it another try now that I have a 5080 and a 9800X 3D. Like, it's not a 5090, but like, I shouldn't emphasize the 50. It's not a 5090, but I'm doing like this is the best build I've had in a bit. It's certainly above spec for the game. Hackers, greatest movie ever. Lorraine Bracco, where Johnny Miller met Angelina Jolie. Okay, frozen browsers are gone. I think we're good here. I'm going to keep working and tweaking the coal line for Casey. But it's about time to call it. I think I'm going to knock down these for sure. I was going to start looking at these and then got totally sidetracked. So we got to drop at least one in. Maybe we do this. Let's knock this side down. Let's do what I'm thinking here. It's already building back up because I didn't de-zone it. That's fine. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's open up the corner with a plaza. So we've used that plaza twice over there. So let's not reuse that. This one's a little different. And I did leave space here for... Let's see what buildings we like. I'm not crazy about this one. How big is this one? We could do... No, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to put it... I can't orient it the other way. Can we find... Is there a smaller... I got a bunch of stuff that's locked still. Definitely don't want a flower plaza there. I got to unlock those. I got to work on some of these zones, apparently. I mean, I don't think it's too repetitive if we put one of these on either end of the block. Let's see what happens when we get a little footpath through here. Because again, I did reserve a little space for that. So that's a lot less imposing now. And we could probably do the same thing here. These are two repetitive buildings. These are okay right next to one another. I didn't like them as much. Repetitive buildings on either side of the footpath, though. So what can we do here? That won't fit still. Will this fit? Not without knocking out that building, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We used that one, so maybe we use this one. Still knocks out that building, though. It doesn't give us space to bring anything through there, though. I'm not crazy about that option. I'm going to bring the footpath through. And what can we fit here? It's a 3. That won't, that's not, no, that's way too big. What do we have for a little 3 wide? For Revo. Perfect. Mid-century modern. Little car park. We'll fill in some trees. We'll do a little something over here at some point. I'll keep working on that section of the town. Good to be back to the build, though. Like I said, I've been. If you missed earlier, I've been gone for 2 weeks. A week in Vegas for work. That was 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. days, Monday through Thursday, and then a full day of travel. Turned around on 3 hours of sleep, and then flew down to Disney World for a week with my wife and daughter. And that was the second week, made the first week seem like a restful vacation. So back in the swing of things, back home, back in my Snorlax. Or not back in my store. I came back with the Snorlax. But I was happy, biggest smile. I had a great time. I mean, work was not bad, and vacation was great. But man, the smile on my face when I felt 26-degree weather again after 2 weeks in Vegas and Florida. Oh my God. T-shirt, parking garage, 26 degrees. Like, Cheshire cat. Like, I could feel it in my face how happy my smile was. I cannot handle the heat. I melted. 75 and humid, and my body failed. So I'm glad to be back. I hope you're glad I am back. I will be doing more streaming. We'll do some New Boston. We'll be back for other neighborhoods in Riverrun. I also am pretty sure I'm going to show up in Ravenclaw robes and a tie and play some Harry Potter soon. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to try and knock off some stuff in the backlog. My wife is kind of getting hard back into the swing of her masters because she was on vacation and she did a bunch of pre-work, but now she's getting caught up again and she's going to be busy. And I'm going to keep myself busy. I think it is time to go through the backlog and burn some of that down. So I'm going to be playing some Steam games I've been meaning to play for a really long time. So if you're down for the random, certainly subscribe for more. But plenty of cities. There will be some Fallout as well. I want to start doing some more Fallout builds. I think that could be really interesting. I got to watch season 2, and then I will have a fire lit under me for sure. Glad to have you back. Glad to be back. Glad to have you back in the chat. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. And of course, all the regulars. Sin finally getting a gifted membership. I love it. It was way overdue. Kung, Adia, AC, Decoy. Who else stopped by? Patton, Blue Egg, Dr. Zaius, of course, the Slytherin. So many people stopped by tonight. So thank you all for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. There will be plenty. I trail off on tangents, never finish my thoughts. So my wife's busy. It is March Madness. That's what it's March Madness. We're going to stream a lot. We're going to catch up on some games. So, a Fallout 76 stream. How much is Fallout first? Maybe we just make a world. Maybe we just do it together. I don't want to play with other people, though. That's what ruined me for Fallout 76. My first time playing Fallout 76, the first person I encountered was running around in just their underwear, blasting death metal, incredibly distorted through their headset. And I was just like, this is not Fallout. It absolutely ruined it for me. So... tinyurl.com/move the mouse. Yes, if you want to join the Discord, thank you, Adia, for posting that. I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out. I will hope to see you on the next one. What it will be, I do not know. But like I said, more of this, more neighborhoods and finishing and finalizing. New Boston, the kind of creative build. I got unlimited money on that one. It's the only time I think I've ever done that for any extended period. There will be the documentary at some point. The backlog of games. Do I have to do Supermarket Simulator now? I'm pretty sure I'm missing out on something big. The shenanigans that went on while I was on vacation. I showed my wife at one point, like I'm gone for 2 weeks. Look at what's going on in there. It's like 8 of you in a room streaming, chatting. It's good to be back. Let's play some games. Catch up on them here. Monster Cat is back, so some new music and chill vibes. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. This is one of the longer outros in a while, but by far not the most rambly. There have been some really rambly ones on the Let's Plays, especially. But I don't know, like 13 minutes after I started saying goodbye, it's time to say goodbye. Do we have a better drop? I know what we need. Hold on a second. We need our intro song on the outro. Can I not? Does that not where I search it? Do I search it up here? Is it because I have a filter set? Does clicking X not get rid of? Doesn't get rid of the filter? You have to go down and select the filter and click it again. This can't be right. Come on. Don't do this to me. Is it over here? No? Is it not? No? Well, this is just taking... This is awful. This is taking way too long. There it is. I found it finally. Good night. Goodbye. See you in the next one.